I think it is proper for us to talk about little and a little. After we have discussed a few and few. And that is why today we will talk about how to use little and a little in English language. If you take your mind back to what we discussed under a few and a few, we highlighted that a few and few can be used with countable nouns. That is, those items that we can see and at the same time we can count. However, today we will talk about how we can make use of little and a little in English language. As a matter of fact, a little and little, can be used when we make reference to liquid item. Liquid item especially. If you make reference to something like sand, we can also use a little or little. Items such as water, oil, and sand, they are uncountable. Despite the fact that we can see them, we can feel them, they are concrete now. But we cannot count them. So when you have a noun that you cannot count, that is, you can determine the quantity of such noun, by number, such a noun can be used with little or a little. However, little brings about insufficiency, meaning that such particular noun is not enough. Why a little, brings about the idea of sufficiency. That is, that particular noun which you cannot count, is enough, is sufficient, adequate for what you need. So when you have a liquid content that is not enough, not up to the quantity that you want, make use of little. For example, we can have there is little water in the tank. There is little water in the tank. There is little water in the tank. When you have a statement such as this, it means that at that point in time when you are talking, you don't have enough water in the tank. The statement can be completed as thus: there is little water in the tank, and I cannot wash my clothes. There is little water in the tank, and I cannot wash my clothes. Do you see now? Because you have because you have little water in the tank, the amount of the quantity of that particular water is not enough for you to wash your clothes. So thus we try to establish what we have earlier said, that little means insufficiency. It means that that particular noun or item is not enough, is not up to the quantity that we want. Whereas a little means sufficiency. It means that that particular quantity is enough, is adequate, can give us what we need. Thus, we can have a statement such as this. Okay? There is a little water in the tank. There is a little water in the tank. Okay? There is a little water in the tank. And that means sufficiency. Okay? Once you've seen something like a little, it denotes sufficiency. It means that that particular noun is sufficient. It's up to the amount or quantity that you want. Okay? There is a little water in the tank. Now, I can complete this sentence as thus. There is a little water in the tank. I can wash my clothes with it. There is a little water in the tank. I can wash my clothes with it. There is a little water in the tank. I can wash my clothes with it. So, briefly speaking, that is how to use little as well as a little. Let's go back again so that it can stay in our mind and we can be able to use either little or a little appropriately in our speeches or when we write. Little means a condition of insufficiency, a condition whereby that particular item is not sufficient for what you need. Okay? It cannot cater for your need at that particular point in time. Okay? Whereas a little means sufficiency. It is telling us that that quantity, that amount that you have, okay, is good enough, okay, is enough, okay, for what you need. Okay? Then little, either little or a little, is used with mass-count noun. Mass-count noun is also known as uncountable noun. Items, okay, that cannot be counted. Items that we cannot determine their quantity by numbering. So we can use little or a little for such item. And most of the time, items that fall under this category are in liquid form, like water, oil. We can also have sand. All these are the items that we cannot quantify by numbering. So when we have something like this, okay, we can make use of little or a little. It all depends on what we have in our mind. Okay? If what we have is not enough, we make use of little. But if what we have is enough, we make use of a little. Because, little denotes insufficiency, while a little means sufficiency.